practice at the back of the arena, not too far from where Carl and I are sitting at the moment.
See what I mean? Second round. He hit it a little bit firm, didn't really get the draw on it, in fairness, but it's just going to slide away. Good pot though, Phil. I mean, he's only played 2 shots. It was a great break. That was a good pot. I think Raga's, I'm not saying he's in trouble or he's got a match yet. It's a bit too early to get that giddy, but he looks okay. This is another testing pot. Does have a bit of an angle though, I believe, so he can pot this and run forward.
Well, the man with 2 wins in his name might be providing a third if he keeps on potting the way he did with a 2-ball. This is what I'm saying. I think in terms of the strength and depth of this field, it's one of the best we've ever seen. Look at this goal.
I'll tell you what, Phil. 2 great pots to start the Hanoi Open. I'm willing him to run the rack now. What a start, what an introduction for this young man.
What sometimes happens in these open events, because they're open, pool enthusiasts basically enter, pay their entry fee, and then they come up against a top-level player, and we see one-sided contests. I think we will see fewer of those here than we do, as I said before, in the likes of the European Open, the UK Open, US Open. He just seems so composed, so at home.
Yeah, this table looks to me like it is playing rapido. It is bouncing. That's the one thing I noticed years ago when we used to come over to Asia, China, the Philippines. I always felt like the tables were quite lively.
Well, case in point there.
Yeah, I mean, he's played for the 7 in the same pocket as the 6, of course he has. The fact that he's landed straight in on the 7 is a bruising. The cue ball's not on the rail, so he can just play a stop shot here. I'm just looking at his cue action, seems to stay very still on the shot. Oh,
until then.
Yes, Phil, this is what we look for, don't we? We look for these things. Seem to be going along nicely, and that was an uncharacteristic miss there from what we've seen early on.
There's an argument to say that was the easiest pot he had. Or one of the easiest. And now it should be absolutely routine for one of the players of the year, Anton Raga, Anthony. We call him the Dragon. Whatever you like to call him, he's a fine player who's very much on the up. In goes the 9, not too much work for the Filipino. Had to pot 3 balls and he has drawn first blood. Not the first player to get a rack on the board though. Billy Thorpe, who is trying to get back into the US Moscone Cup team. He's 1-0 up on a local. Lee Andong. I can tell you, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz has had a walkover in the first round. He was supposed to play a qualifier who didn't materialise. Also in action right now over on table 12, Michael Feliciano, the runner-up to Fedor Gorsht in the Perry Open last night. He's one to watch. Ralph Suke is playing right now. So too another former world 9-ball champion, Torsten Homan. Omar Al-Shaheen is back on the scene, together with Lee Van Corteza. They're really going to be some wonderful stories as the week progresses. And I think one of them is the very powerful Filipino contingent here, which also includes Warren Kianko.
Yeah, Warren played at the Perry last week. Good to see him. Oh, these rails look very lively. Very lively. What I mean by that is when the ball bounces onto the rail, it comes off very quick, a lot quicker than maybe we used to see him.
News of another walkover, by the way, for a big name player. Again, he was due to play a qualifier who didn't come through, so Sanyan Perlovanovic is into round 2 without potting a ball. This time it's Raga's turn to miss. And when you've got a lively table like this, Carl, it can shred the nerves. Obviously, players don't want very slow conditions, but when it's really bouncy and brittle, you have to display such a wonderful touch. Much like the first rack, that was a cracking pot. The question is, can he complete the job this time?
Yeah, if the purple 5 ball passes the 8, he may be tempted with a bank, but he's got a few options here for safeties. He can clip off it and try and get the cue ball towards the 9. Use the green 6 ball as well. There's a few options here. Looked like it was going to be the dream start for Nguyen Van Huynh. It's turning out to be a bit of a disaster here on table 1. Raga, he will punish your mistakes.
Should be a pretty simple run out, apart from the fact he might misjudge certain shots off cushions, because he still only played a limited amount on this table, which is fierce.
Didn't win the Perry Open, but he showed the signs, the class that Raga possesses. Another deep run on tour. Let's not forget, he's not played a lot of the World 9 Ball Tour events as well, so he's really made an impact.
the second player to automatically be on the European team for the Mosconi Cup in early December. The first two players to qualify for Europe, both Spaniards, the other one being Francisco Sanchez Ruiz.
Some achievement that, when you think about Ruiz was a rookie last year, so the fact that both the best mates from Spain qualified, and have done the same again the following year, well done.
And of course we had the news yesterday as well, Carl, that Fedor Gorst will represent the USA in the Mosconi Cup this time around. He's now got his permanent residency in America and he will be part of Jeremy Jones's team. Now, whichever way you look at it, that seismically changes the dynamic of the two sides. And suddenly America, with that really big punch up top, they will be genuine contenders.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It really strengthens Team USA, and no disrespect to Jeremy Jones and Team America, but Europe have really dominated the Cup over the last dozen years. That may just change because obviously Fedor will add strength, but listen, let's not be naive. He's only played in one, played in the COVID edition, no crowd, so he's not going to know what it feels like to play in front of a packed house. And it will be in London, and believe me, Phil, the crowd will give him a little bit of stick, so he's got it all to look forward to.
All of that is true. What I will say is that Fedor is a model professional. I think he's a wonderful ambassador for the game, and his addition to the Mosconi Cup will be terrific. And once more, I was doing some calculations this morning off the AZ Billiards website, and I reckon if you include his one-pocket success in all different kinds of stuff this year, he's won 15 tournaments in 2020.
It's close.
If the gap's there though, Cole, that's expensive. And it is.
It's a real shame this, because Nguyen Van Huynh had glorious chances in the opening 2 racks. He's had table time.
Did not hit that one well. He's lucky to have any kind of shot on the 9. Not an easy one though, when cue ball and object ball, judging the potting angle is sometimes difficult. He doesn't want to hit this slowly because there's a chance it might taper away. That was crisp enough. It was into the heart of the pocket, and although he's not dominating in terms of the exchanges, he most certainly is on the scoreboard. Anton Raga, who is a genuine contender for this title come Sunday, he leads Nguyen Van Huynh 3-0. So what are the other scores? Well, Ko Ping Han, who's the youngest of the 3 brothers from Chinese Taipei, the brother of the recently crowned US Open champion Ko Ping Chung. Well, Ko Ping Han is 2-1 up on a Filipino opponent, Nguyen Van Huynh. There's an all Singaporean clash on table 4 between To Lian Han, who got to the final of the World Cup, with Aloysius Yap. Well, To, who's a veteran, he's leading Aaron Justin Yip 2-0. Some really interesting contests taking place right from the get-go. I can tell you Billy Thorpe has taken a 4-0 lead.
Good break there from Raga. Just a little too thin. You're starting to get a feel of the break though. When the cue ball comes off that rail a little bit thin, certainly when they're playing at a medium pace, they seem to miss the 1 ball. Fine margins. Can he play the combo onto the 4? He can, but he needs to hit that pretty full. If you kind of hit it to the right hand side, you won't pop the ball. A safety option as well. Could also send the cue ball into the 4 off the right hand side rail. Played safe. Needs a bit of form here. Form he gets as well. Something about this grey cloth fill, I know we've been using it a while now, but it really makes the balls pop, doesn't it? It's very easy to identify all the balls and where they are.
Yeah, much like the game of Raga, it looks good, although he's left that one.
Yeah, this is a thin one. Don't know if he can check it off the 2 rails and hold it, or does he have to go off the bottom rail into the green 6? This is what he's coming around to have a nosy at. Very easy to lose the cue ball and hook yourself behind the 9. He's got the shots though.
Yeah, he's playing far better than the scoreline suggests, actually.
Yeah, it was just that opening 7 ball in rack 1. He potted 2 fabulous balls. And just when he missed that one, it seemed to knock his confidence a little bit.
Your observation about him being still on the shot was also quite correct, Carl, and he seems very orthodox down the line.
Thin to pot this ball in the middle. It looks like it's run a little bit too far. Playing the combo, if he goes straight at the 4 ball with the red 3 ball, the 3 ball's going to move away from the pocket, so he's got to be a bit careful here because the cue ball's going to stay in that line. So he's either going to play it pretty firm or maybe play it off the rail. Yeah, there he played it firm, he's took a bit of a gamble. It's gone wrong.
Cue ball needed to stop, and I don't think it did. I think there's just an edge there for Anton Raga to see. My impression of this table, Carl, is that it's playing beautifully, but I think it will take some getting used to.
Also a new feature to the World 9-Ball Tour. We also put a match on the Matchroom Pool TikTok channel, so you can head over to the TikTok page and also watch a match. Michael Feliciano is on that table, our recent Perry 9-Ball Open runner-up, so get yourself over, have a little nosy. At some point I'll be walking past with Phil and we'll do a bit of TikTok comms on the old table and all, Phil.
Yeah, well, that's an appropriate channel for me, TikTok. The clock's been ticking and talking for me for a while. And of course we've got the action on Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel as well for you on table 2.
Just flicked the 9-ball there, he's fouled, must have been tight.
There's definitely a level of high competence with Nguyen Van Huynh. I think what's coming out here is inexperience in this kind of environment. And that inexperience will be fully exploited by the Dragon, who does not take prisoners. Basically, Anton Raga didn't play an awful lot of big international tournament pool for many a year, even though everyone knew just how good he was. He was playing money matches in the Philippines and quite content to do that, but I think he realised, having seen the growth of the World 9-Ball Tour, that he wanted a part of it. He wanted to be out there gaining his deserved celebrity. Now he's playing tournament pool and playing it with great aplomb. This for 4-0.
Going along nicely, Phil, the young man, the young Filipino, 30 years of age, Anton Raga. One of the most feared players in the Philippines.
Yeah, we talked about his European Open run when he was runner-up, came within a rack of winning the title there in Fulda. He had some phenomenal wins, beating the likes of Wojciech Szewczyk and also Joshua Filler. That was a grand match, as indeed was the title match, where David Al-Qaedi just proved slightly too good. After that, went over to the States and finished 5th in the Connecticut Open. So he's picking up useful WNT ranking points and looking to go deep in his native Asia right here, right now. One thing Raga knows, if he does win, he will play Vietnamese opposition next also, because in his section of the draw, it's an all-Vietnamese clash between Hoa Can Hui and Nguyen An Tuan. And right now, Hua's leading 5-0.
That break was very soft for me. We do have an unwritten rule in place, don't we, where we're not really supposed to soft break. I know it's quite hard to determine that, but I suppose once you've played at a certain level, we know the difference. You can see by the cluster of balls that's at the bottom of the table. Went for the pot. Cheeky effort.
Absolutely bundles of running side on that. Down the rail. A thin cut on the 2, but an available 2 nevertheless.
Really do enjoy watching Raga play, just the way he dissects around the table. He's got these quirky mannerisms, and he's got all these little weird shots about his game. He just fully understands the game of pool.
It's a very different mindset playing tournament pool to big money matches. But he seems to have made the transition very smoothly.
He's just motoring around the table nicely. It's turning out to be a bit of a lap of honour here in round 1 for Raga. And he feels it, you can tell. Usually when they're playing a big match against a big player, you take that bit more time. He's just running around like he's playing at home.
Yeah, there will be a shot clock, as always, for major Matchroom events over the course of the last 2 days. So the first 4 days will be without a shot clock. Not that you'd know this with Raga, as Carl said. (5-0), and when Nguyen Van Huynh was potting balls so ably in the first rack, you did not see this coming. Indeed, he had first chance in the second as well, but he didn't take it, and now Raga clearly in his stride. That one ball to get onto the 2, ultimately that was the linchpin shot of the entire rack. Ralph Suke, he's 4-0 up on Nguyen Trung of Vietnam. Nguyen Van Huynh, he's 3-2 up on Torsten Homan. And over from Europe, Norwegian Ronnie Oldevik, he leads Kwat Wang Min 5-0. Interesting name in the draw as well this time. Gary Wilson, the snooker player. Now, he loves his pool. We thought he might have to miss this event because right now in Wuhan, China, there's a big world ranking snooker event, but Gary didn't qualify, and so he took the opportunity to come here and play 9-ball.
Was he in China or he didn't qualify?
No,
to
he
get
didn't.
To China?
He didn't qualify. He lost his match back in England to qualify, and so when the week became available, he decided to further his 9-ball career. And of all the snooker players who've gone to 9-ball in recent times, the list includes Judd Trump, Jack Lazowski, Stuart Bingham most recently. Of all of those, Gary has adapted the quickest and the most efficiently.
Well, maybe he should stick to pool the way snooker's been going lately, Phil.
You said that, not me. He's not had the best of starts to the season, admittedly. But things can change around, and of course, in December, actually just after the Moscone Cup finishes, he defends the Scottish Open title. Anton Raga's fellow countryman, Lee Van Corteza, is 3-1 up on Nguyen Tan Trung.
Good to see Corteza here. Another one of the top Filipino players.
Yes, and another with bags of experience, Warren Kianko. He's 5-0 up on Kuk Trung Tan. But what does it say about pool in Vietnam that a third of the field here are from the host nation? We can't overstate just what a deep imprint pool has in this country. When we were travelling from the airport into the city centre, the amount of pool clubs you see, well, they pop along with great regularity. And as you were telling me, where the Perry Open was held last night was a simply superb facility.
$1 million pool hall, Phil. Absolute high end at its best. Everything, no stone untouched. On one side of the pool room, they removed all the tables, about 20 tables, just took them out of the way, set 3 up in an arena style setting, and they really did everything in their powers to make the players feel good, and all the players had a lot of good things to say about that event. And $25,000 to the winner as well. Nothing to be sniffed at, Phil. I know it's pocket change to you, buddy.
Well, when you were saying about a $1 million pool hall, I was going to say, and of course it had a $1 million commentator there last night as well.
Jeremy Jones, yeah. Well, it's quite unusual for me to commentate with Jeremy. Usually we only do the final.
Be interesting to get his take later on when Michael McMullen commentates with him on his thoughts about Fedor Gorsh being in the fold for the Americans. I'm sure those thoughts will be 100% positive.
Yeah, just had a few chats with Jeremy. He's delighted, of course. Why wouldn't you be? Fedor's, one of the top players in the world now, so he can't wait to work with Fedor Gorsh. And I think he said it before, Phil. Ever the professional is the Gorsh. Does everything right, eats right, sleeps right, trains right, practices like a maniac. He ticks all the boxes.
23 years of age. I think one thing that really impresses me about Fedor, apart from his 9-ball abilities, how well he plays one pocket, which requires, well, I use the word again, experience, and yet he can compete with the best and beat the best. Anton Raga, it is going one-way traffic. 6-0 now. And Nguyen Van Huynh looks as though he's going to lose. Youngster from Denmark who's here looking to start to fulfill his potential. Mickey Kraus, he's 4-1 up against a Vietnamese opponent early on. Piers Labutis from Lithuania, finally going a little tougher against Nguyen Van Huynh. Labutis leads 3-2. These are all first round matches, of course. After his runner-up finish in the Perry Open last night, Michael Feliciano is on level terms with Nguyen Van Huynh, 3-3.
Yeah, good to see Raga breaking with more pace. That suits his break style, that suits his game.
Is it hype to suggest that he could go one better than the European Open and win here? I personally don't think so. I think he's got a terrific chance.
Well, I'm staying away from them sort of picks now, Phil. I've had enough. I picked him to win US Open. He didn't get past the group stage. Didn't even make single elim.
I noticed that he came up empty-handed. I'm not saying I'm picking him to win it. What I'm saying is he's got the capabilities to win it. He's in that group of players.
Who are you picking then? Come on, we always do this on day one. Let's get the picks out.
I'll say exactly what I said at the European Open, actually. Eventually, SVB is going to come good again, and maybe it's here.
SVB for you?
I would love to see that. What about you, Cole?
I'm going to go Ghost. I'm going to go back-to-back titles in Vietnam.
As you can tell, folks, Carl and I, we like to go out on a limb, don't we? Pick the outsiders.
Well, I had high hopes for Nguyen Van Huynh, Phil, in the opening rack, just because the break was good. He made a couple of nice shots. Looked like he was a cert to win rack one. Since then, it's all been Raga. 7-0.
I think it would be an exaggeration to say that during that first rack, Raga would have been concerned. He's far too savvy for that. But as he watched Nguyen Van Huynh knocking a few balls, he must have thought, this is a tougher assignment than maybe I imagined. Now, it looks like a walk in the park. Competitor from the United States who's here, who's made a good start on table 13, Michael Jednak, 4-1 up on Nguyen Van Huynh. And Andrei Ionescu from Romania, 4-0 up on Nguyen Van Huynh.
He's missed the one ball. Cue ball's going close to the corner. Come on, Nguyen Van Huynh, let's get a rack. You can't have a name like Nguyen Van Huynh and not win one rack.
That's like that famous line in the movie, isn't it? Win, Rocky, win.
Tough opening shot though. Yeah, he's not even played it. Must have gone in a pocket.
Now that is quite a nasty hook. The Filipinos collectively are known for their escape abilities, for kicking, but not in evidence there. Not enough side on the ball imparted, so it's ball in hand for the man who's yet to get off the mark. In these kind of situations, you always tend to pull for the player who's trying to avert the whitewash. So come on, Nguyen, get the rack under your belt. One thing we must emphasise, it's not one and done. He will go to the loser's side, so he does have a chance to redeem himself if Raga wins the next couple of racks. But being on the loser's side so early is not recommended.
Draw back into the right hand side rail, that little gap to play for the pink 4 in the bottom left. Looks like there's a bit of an angle though. Didn't get there, so he's got to play the hook behind the 8. He wants to make sure he gets the 4 ball away from the rail, because that would leave a bigger target for the kick shot for Raga. This won't work. I think he's left the pot. Oh man, the hook.
Yeah, that was really clumsy. That's the kind of mistake you see once in a blue moon at the top level. You are spot on, Carl. He did leave the pot, and now Raga's in to reach the hill. Or at least he was. Didn't just miss that 5 ball, he missed it by a mile.
You do see this a lot though, when one of the top players has got a massive lead against a player who's been struggling, where they feel like they're not going to lose, they kind of just rush a little bit too much and then just make a silly mistake. It's just a concentration thing.
Certainly can't hold the cue ball in potting the 5, so has to come around the houses, and there is a little bit of a congestion at the opposite end of the table, so trying to work out how best to control the white.
Could play the carrot onto the 6. Decided to play the bag. Yeah, that was definitely a shot. Not sure if it went or not. This is what happens though when you're having a nightmare. Little things like this. This is his own fault. The cue ball. He's in his control. The cue ball was always running away from him as well. But I suppose it's a little bit unlucky to hit the 7. Hook behind the 8. Kicking off the side rail. Good news is he's not out of the tournament when he loses Phil. I say when because I think he's going to lose.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the great thing about this format. It's a hybrid format. It's not entirely double elimination, but in the early stages, a safety net is there. Simply has to hit the green 6 ball. After doing that, he had to leave the 6 safe. That was the tougher proposition. But clearly, he hasn't done that. So, Carl, 1 lapse from Anton Raga in this rack already. I can't see another one, can you?
No, I can't, Phil. Well, commentator's curse, this is finest there. Right on cue. I suppose he was trying to just play a bit of a fancy shot on the 7, arcing past the 8. He's just getting his table times worth.
Will get to play again today, of course, if he comes through this.
As always, half the field plays today. So that half who plays today gets tomorrow off, and the half that have not played today will play tomorrow. Go for the bank, come on. Go out swinging, forget the safety shot behind the 9. Yes, that's the shot. Needs us to hold up though. Oh, he took a lively bounce. Wow, that ball bounced. Okay, for the 3rd time of asking in rack 8, Raga will take himself to 8. He's on the hill.
The ideal start goal, everyone knows, is to win a match where you're, to a certain extent, tested, but you come through. If you win 9-0 in these circumstances, okay, you've had table time, but there's been no real adrenaline flowing or the feeling of nerves that you will encounter as the tournament goes on. I think, though, with Raga, he just takes everything in his stride anyway.
Yeah, a lot like the Filipinos. Very happy people, aren't they? Always smiling. Always enjoy being at the events. They don't take nothing for granted here. They just love being out there competing. It's great to see a lot of the Filipino flags in the draw in this tournament. There's the arena, wonderful view of the setting here in Hanoi.
We've been to some terrific venues in recent years with Matchroom Pool. I think in many respects this is the best. We've got 26 tables in here, and you could get significantly more.
Yeah, it feels very grand when you walk in. The break shot has not been great for Raga though in this match. That won't please him. If you want to go on and go deep and sort of win this tournament, there's going to be players that are making that 1 ball consistently.
Well, I'll tell you what, Carl, over the years we have seen some amazing comebacks in 9-ball pool. Given the personnel on show here, I think if Nguyen Van Huynh were to win this match, it would be the most astounding comeback we've ever witnessed. For him, it's a case of first things first. Try and get that elusive rack on the board.
Eyeing up the combination, 3-ball will move away, go up table. There's a bit of distance, got to make sure you contact the right angle as well, so it's not a formality this. And he's missed it. It's gone awkward though. Raga won't play the pot here. He'll look for a safety shot. Get the cue ball back and use the. He's trying to use the 4-ball. Nearly got there as well.
Strange things happen in sport. Raga will not want to waste any unnecessary mental energy. He'll want to get this over as swiftly as possible.
If he could bank it in between the pink 4 and the 5, send the cue ball over to the right, but it's quite a tight gap to find. Fair play though, he's still having a good look. It'd be very easy to just swing the cue at the cue ball, wouldn't he? Just get out of it. Going to get cover.
And that could be the beginning of the end. The side helped the ball squirt in. And Anton Raga is now just a few pots away from the numerically perfect start.
Yeah, he's about to serve up a donut on his opponent.
And even though Nguyen Van Huynh is looking down the barrel of a whitewash, as Raga plays a loose one there, even though the whitewash looks overwhelmingly likely now, the way he's played, and I know it sounds strange, but the way he's played, you could see him winning matches on the one-loss side. He's flirting with a scratch.
Yeah, I think Raga's just teasing Nguyen Van Huynh. All in all, good solid performance, workmanship like, not really had any major troubles from his opponent.
He's played in the first match on day one. He's won the first match on day one, whitewashed his opponent. And you get the feeling that Anton Raga could well be in the last match on day 6. He certainly got the capabilities of going all the way, as he showed at the European Open. This was the clinching 9-ball, and it went, the final score, 9-0. And during the first rack, I thought that kind of scoreline was highly unlikely. So Nguyen Van Huynh goes to the one-loss side of the draw. Anton Raga will come back later on today to play his second contest. And around the arena, other results are slowly filtering in. I can tell you Billy Thorpe is through with a 9-1 win over Lee and Dang. And most of the big names who you'd expect to win are either already past the line or going nicely. The one exception might be Torsten Homan, World 9-ball champion, who's being held to 5-5 by Vu Tuan Han. So we'll be back at 11:20 with our second offering. Of course, you can go and see Table 2 right now, which is available on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel. As for our main coverage, as I say, it's going to be 11:20 local time, which is in around 17 minutes from now. And it features an all-Vietnamese clash. Your commentators will be Michael McMullen and the US Moscone Cup captain, Jeremy Jones. Carl and I will be back for match 3. See you then.